YouTube disclaimer. I am an actor portraying a fantasy parallel universe. This video is for entertainment purposes only.
You see, we've been sold this story of liberals and conservatives. Which one are you? Because you've got to pick one. It's like a cult. They're both cults. Now the liberals seem to be the younger people, the more naive people, the more gullible ones. And if you look throughout history at big changes in regimes, terrible regimes that taken over, dramatic regimes of control, they all start with the children. They convince the children, they convince the students, and the students all rise up and fight for this great regime. But as soon as the regime gets in power, everyone regrets it, because it's all been a lie. They tell you what you want to hear. Yeah, we're going to look after everyone. We're going to make it all fair. Oh, that's good. And as soon as they get in, all they do is look after themselves, and we are all equally poor. It's like we all own nothing, but we're all happy with this system. And the conservatives, they're more reasonable, more rational, but they're still trying to conserve things as they are. They want to go back to the days when things were a bit better. Let's go back 20, 30 years. It was fairer then. That was good times. Let's do that. No. None of that was good times. This game has been played with us all the time. So you might think that liberals are the best or the conservatives are the best, but both of these are the same game. The only solution is the sovereign mindset. We actually have to be individuals, self-sovereign. We have to have full control of our own mental faculties, make our own judgments, make our own observations. And we can discuss and debate as sovereigns, but that is the key factor. That is the key factor. So in my last video, I was talking about the zombie apocalypse. It's just a way of saying mind control. They're occupying our mind with nonsense and topsy-turvy, upside-down nonsense. You are told something that is a flat-out lie, but you have to believe it to be true. So when your heart tells you this is not true, but your brain is telling you yes, it is true, you're getting all muddled up inside. You're getting confused. And when you have that confusion combined with fear, they're always terrifying us. When you have that confusion combined with fear, we are very susceptible, very open to hypnosis. You see, mind control is the most powerful thing. It's more powerful than physical oppression. Bob Marley said it, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. So this hypnosis is being played upon us, and it's being played very cleverly, very cleverly. And again, we laugh at some of it because some of the hypnosis, some of the instructions are so stupid, we think no one's going to believe that. But they do. Why do they believe this stupid stuff? Because we have become stupid. They talk to us like infants. We're just infants. Again, I talk about this in the last video, the zombie apocalypse. They're making us into zombies. And there's more depth to that because if you understand a bit about the legal system and the way it all works, the corporate system. You see, corporation means dead entity, corpse, aeration, the talking dead. It's a zombie. A corporation is a zombie entity. And we, in this legal system that has been set up, we have become zombie entities. Again, it's a long discussion, and I'll leave links to the Sovereign Project and another channel, The People's Lawyer, another great channel where they talk about this in greater detail. But our birth certificate essentially creates a corporation for us, and we are a ghost director of this corporation. We don't know this. So essentially we have a zombie entity representing ourselves in the zombie world, the world of corporations, and that is how they apply all this legal system to us. They're not so much talking to us, they're talking to our birth certificate name, our name spelt in capital letters, like on a tombstone. And again, that's more detailed to that, links below. We've got to wake up. We've got to become self-sovereign. I am a living man, a living woman, or a living boy or girl. This is the language we have to use. We have to use a particular language because even language is a game that is played upon us. If you control the language, you control the people that use the language. And now we've got this very extreme political spectrum. We've got the liberals or the wokies, and then you've got the conservatives, the more reasonable, rational people. And of course, we laugh at the wokies because they believe complete nonsense. You can see the nonsense, complete nonsense. But why do they believe it? They're the youngsters. They're the gullible ones. They also tend to be the rich ones, the wealthy ones. The wealthy people brought up with the silver spoon in their mouth. The champagne socialists. It's the let them eat cake people. Let them eat cake. They can't afford bread. Well, let them eat cake. They have no idea what's really going on. They've never done a real day's work. They've never lived in true poverty. They've never really struggled for their life. So they do not have any idea what life's about. You see, the old ways of politics, if you go back to the ancient Greeks, all these guys, Plato, Aristotle, these sort of things, they had a different idea. They talked about democracy, and you weren't even supposed to get involved with that until you were, I can't remember, over 50. You're supposed to be grown up, really experienced in life, before you have any say in what sort of system governs everyone. But they're moving now to make it younger and younger. Soon you can have children offering their vote for who they want to lead them. And you look at the regimes, it's done in the past. Some of the most terrible regimes, they put the children in charge. You've got to look back in Asia, all this stuff, and the children would commit these terrible atrocities. So you have destroyed the soul of that child from the very beginning. So we're like domestic animals. So what do you do to your pets? You neuter them. You neuter your pets. And you trim their claws. You trim their claws so they can't do anything. They just sit at home and you just pet them. So that's what they're doing to us. They're neutering us and defanging us, declawing us, so that we just accept our situation. But the solution is the sovereign mindset. And the sovereign mindset is not political. It is ultimate. Now, you could argue that the sovereign is also a conservative, because the conservatives are more rational. You can talk to a conservative more than you can talk to a liberal. But a sovereign is an ancient conservative. A sovereign remembers the way the world was way back, before man created all this system of control, before man decided to write down laws. You can't write down laws. All you can do is make up some rules and regulations of your own personal organisation. But if I don't want to join your own personal organisation, why the hell do I have to follow your laws? Of course I don't. So way back before all that, the world was a natural place, or people were living in a natural way. You can have an advanced civilization of people living under natural law. And I do believe it was the case. We had that throughout history, more like ancient history. So the natural law that the sovereign wants to follow is very simple. And we feel it here in our heart. We know it to be true. We all know, do not harm anyone. Do not hurt anyone. At least not unprovoked. We also know, do not steal. Do not take anyone else's possessions. What is another person's possession? Well, if someone has created something themselves, that is their possession. If you have built yourself a house, that is your house. I cannot go and take it from you. And we also know, remain honourable. Do not cheat. Now, do not lie is a simple version of that, but of course lying is still a bit subjective. But lying with the objective of taking another person's stuff, i.e. deceit, deception, cheating, do not do that. Fraud is the word. So we know that. And you might also say one more, do not disturb the peace. Do not just create unrest for no reason. Do not disturb the people just for the hell of it. So we kind of know all that. We don't need to know anything more. Everything else we've got is just a made up system, rules and regulations of a particular organisation. We learn this in school. If you think about it, what do you learn in school? We learn about politics in school, but you only learn about the two parties maybe. And you don't learn anything about corruption. You don't really learn anything about what's really going on behind the scenes. Don't really learn anything about the real banking system, the financial system. We just given a story, so we all believe it and we all subscribe to it, and then we all put our votes in. But what we're living in, we're not living in a liberal society, we're not living in a conservative society. What we're living in is a corporate society, a corporate zombie society, and it's globalist. And it's a globalist corporate system applied direct to local council as well, to local people. So you can call it a glocalist society. So you could call this a glocalist zombie corporate system, something like that. And what do we do? What do we do? Well, we have to train ourselves. Get on and train our body, hence this channel. You might think physical fitness and physical health have got nothing to do with this, but it's got everything to do with this. Everything to do with this. If you look at China, when the regime took over in China, one of the first things they do is go and destroy all the martial arts schools. No martial arts schools are allowed. These will offer resistance. Look at the Shaolin temples. All the Shaolin temples were destroyed. And the Shaolin monks had to leave China and go to other places. So now if you want to find authentic Shaolin, for example, most of that is outside China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore. The regimes, this is what they do. So martial arts, training your body, training your mental power, training your integrity and your awareness, your intention, and again in the Chinese philosophy there's a good word for that, is the E. You have the Qi, which is your energy, and you have the E, which is your intention, mind power. You train these things. And this is the only real antidote to the zombie army, the zombie corporate system. We have to wake up from the zombie state. And there's another great metaphor, if you know Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, old movie, but it's a great scene in that, where they're in the system of this cult, the Thuggees, the cult of Kali. And Indiana Jones is there, he's captured, and they have to give him the blood, the drink. So if he drinks this blood, the blood of the Kali, then he becomes a zombie. He goes into the cult. So he drinks the blood, and then he becomes a zombie. And as a zombie, he starts to do the sacrifice. He's now become a willing cult member. But he has to wake up from this zombie juice. And his little friend, the kid there, wakes him up with fire. He touches him with fire. Oh, he wakes up. And he wakes up out of the zombie state. And that's what we've got to do. Wake up from the zombie state. See what's really going on. We've been given the zombie juice. Quite literally, we are ingesting things that will diminish our mental, cognitive abilities. So we have to stop drinking the zombie juice. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. It's the real Kool-Aid. But we wake up, and we wake up through sometimes a shock, but that's a good thing. And just at the final thing, what does he do? He's woken up in the zombie state, but he has not yet revealed that he has woken up. He's still playing along at being a zombie. He's still playing along, and he's looking at what's going on. So no one suspects he's woken up, but he just gives a little wink to the kid. Yeah, I've woken up. And then he chooses his moment, and then he reveals he's woken up and fights back. And that's what we're doing now here. We're slowly waking up quietly. The sovereigns are waking up, understanding what's really going on. But we've got to keep quiet, keep going, keep training ourselves. And again, the Sovereign Project is doing a lot of work to organise things. And that's why I strongly suggest you look at the Sovereign Project. And when the time is right, we can do some things to make a change in this world, a positive change. But we have to work together, we have to organise, and we need a network of these sovereign-minded people. And that's my project, that's what I'm working on. And again, links below to that project that I'm working on. Okay, I hope this little talk made sense. Do check out my previous talk on this very same subject, the zombie apocalypse. And the zombie apocalypse, you can also relate it to Star Trek, the Borg Collective. The Borg Collective, you know, a group of cyborgs all connected together, and they're just going around assimilating everyone. Assimilating everyone. And of course, we do not want that. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and leave any questions or comments. I will get back to you. and I look forward to seeing you in any of these other videos here.